What's going on, guys? Jay the Black here. Salute to everyone that's tuning in. In this video commentary, I'm going to speak on NBA player Malik Beasley. His career may be over. He has recently been indicted, reportedly, due to gambling, as far as also fixing games, so to speak. There was a scheme that him and another person where they did the absolute worst thing you could possibly do in professional sports as an athlete. And now he's in trouble. I don't know. We're going to get into the details of it, but I don't know if he's going to tell on others, because I'm pretty sure he knows of others who are doing this. Is he going to turn into a witness? Is he going to start telling? Because that's probably why they're indicting him, because they want more. They want more people who could be possibly involved in this. And again, this guy has a lot going on. And in this video, I'm going to go over not only the gambling situation, but I'm going to go over the messy relationships this guy has had. It just seems like he knows no peace, right? I bet some of y'all didn't even know that some years ago he actually went to jail for a brief stint due to him pulling a weapon on people who had approached his property. The people felt like the property was empty. They thought it was seeing some sort of house opening, and he decided to do something stupid. I mean, the guy does not make the right choices in life. This guy left his wife to go have a fling with Larsa Pippen. His judgment is not the best. It really isn't. And now he's going to be seeing the consequences of basically betting on games that he's involved in. Now, the reports are out there. We're going to get into this first, the gambling. The reports are out there, and it's just not good. It really isn't. Because you would think that a guy who plays in the NBA is making a lot of money, right? And the thing is that he left $42 million on the table. He had a 3-year, $42 million contract on the table, and it was from Detroit Pistons. And he blew it due to this gambling scandal happening. It halted that. He went to go play in Puerto Rico. But now this thing has, fully blossomed into a full-blown indictment, to where they'll never let him play in the NBA again. After this, they'll never let him play in the NBA again. And this is a guy who has children to take care of from his ex-wife. But again, it's about choices that we make in life. And I just believe that a guy like Malik should know better. He should know better. So let's get into the controversy, right? Let's get into the controversy of the gambling. According to reports from January to March of 2024, during his stint with the Milwaukee Bucks, Beasley allegedly manipulated his performance in 4 specific games against the Cavaliers, Hornets, Clippers, and Nets. They even have video clips of him where he looks like he's intentionally throwing the game. So associates could profit off his statistics. U.S. sportsbooks flagged unusual betting activity, including one game where heavy action shifted the odds on his rebound totals. In June of 2025, news broke the FBI and federal prosecutors Eastern District of New York were investigating strange betting patterns tied to Beasley's statistics. Consequently, the Detroit Pistons pulled a 3-year, $42 million contract they had agreed to offer him. In August of 2025, Beasley's legal team announced that he was no longer a target of the federal investigation and had not been charged with any crime, briefly reopening the door for his return to free agency. Now, that was in August of 2025. You got to ask yourself the question. His lawyer said that in August of 2025. So what changed now in June of 2026? What changed? Did he not cooperate like he was going to? Or did they get more information that they didn't have at that time? In March of 2026, a federal judge ordered Beasley to pay $1 million to his former agency, Hazan Sports Management for unpaid marketing in advance and contract violation shortly after he signed to play in Puerto Rico for a team there. In June 29th of 2026, federal prosecutors in Brooklyn unsealed an indictment against 6 individuals, including Beasley and former teammate Ed Davis, accusing Beasley of manipulating his performance to offset massive personal gambling debts. Beasley was scheduled to voluntarily surrender to authorities. This is not good. This is a guy who was looking to make a comeback in the NBA. Because again, this dude has young children to take care of, right? He left his wife. He wanted to go date other women. And now he's really in a bad situation. He could actually go to jail for this. That's why I say, is he going to tell? Is he gonna turn witness? That's the only way he's gonna be able to get out of this, man. Man, this guy just does not make good choices. Let's get to the relationships, right? He was married to Montana Yao, right? They had a child together. I believe she filed to separate, but they got back together. That was during the time he had the fling with Larsa Pippen. They got back together, they had another child, and then they separated for good, right? Because I don't think he wanted to be a family man. See, this is why, gentlemen, you don't get married at a young age. Stop getting married at a young age. When you know that you want to be a bachelor, I know these women be pressuring these dudes into marriage. Don't let them pressure you into marriage, because you're going to rebel in the form of cheating, just like he did with Larsa Pippen during COVID. He was rebelling because he did not want to be married. He even got into a fight with an ex of hers in a hotel in the apartment lobby. I think that's when the relationship was really damaged, right? And apparently, he was an ex-football player, Sua Cravens, who may have gotten the best of him in that fight. Okay. So looking at where Beasley is and his mindset, right? And I told y'all earlier about the fact that he pulled the weapon on the people coming near his property, right? And he got in trouble for that. He's just made a lot of bonehead decisions. A lot of bonehead decisions that he shouldn't be making. The gambling debts is crazy. It's almost as if he's trying to upkeep a lifestyle that his NBA salary is just not doing, right? That's what it looks like. He's trying to offset, I guess, the money he's spending with gambling, but that never works. See, gambling has become a major part of our society now, because everywhere you go, there's a sports betting company sponsoring some podcasts, you know? And now Malik Beasley is with this, I believe she's Brazilian female. He's been dating her, I believe, for the last year. Is she going to stay with him once she realized he's never getting back into the NBA? Apparently, she's a streamer, IG model, whatever you want to call it, right? Because he's never going to play in the NBA again. They're never going to allow him to play in the NBA again, especially with this indictment. And again, this is 100% his doing and his making. His NBA salary wasn't good enough, so he started gambling with teammates, which again is a trap. You know, you're NBA players. Why are you gambling, especially with each other? Why are you owing people money? You either are hurting for money, or you just love the adrenaline rush of being able to make money through gambling. It's just not very good. And I would hope that more black men would understand that you're under a microscope. Again, I'm not here to race bait or whatever y'all say, but I'm being honest. Black men are under a bigger microscope than anybody else. And when you're out here gambling, you have to understand that, you can gamble if you want, but make sure that you actually have money to pay those debts. But if you're spending beyond your means because of the women that you're with, it's going to get you in very bad situations like he's in now. Also, the women that he's dealt with. You're getting with gold diggers. I'm not saying his ex-wife is. I don't know. But you're hooking up with Larsa Pippen, then you with this new chick. You know, they probably like the finer things. But ultimately, Malik is his own worst enemy. Self-sabotage to the most, right? And it's unfortunate because, again, he had the situation with Montana. He was married to her, children with her, and he decided that he wanted to go out there and be a bachelor who just spends off money, gambles, and put himself in the worst situations financially that he can't dig his way out of. I would love to know what changed. What changed from a year ago when authorities said, when his lawyer said that he wasn't going to be charged until now? What happened? Did he lie to the authorities? Now, you got to understand, if he did lie and his legal team lied, he did it in an effort to get his NBA career back. But that's donezo. They're never going to let him play in the NBA. Now, again, I could be wrong. Maybe they do let him play in the NBA again. I just think it's going to be very tough. Because you see the stance that college football is taking when it comes to gambling and betting on your team and gambling. It's just good. I just don't see it. Even though gambling has become a big part of sports, it really has. It's become a very big part of sports. Now I'm going to get back into another article from Yahoo that goes in a little bit more detail about him and his ex-teammate Ed Davis and gambling. It says former Detroit Pistons guard Malik Beasley was reportedly indicted Monday on federal charges related to sports betting scheme. According to ESPN Shams, former NBA veteran Ed Davis was also reportedly indicted as part of the investigation, according to The Atlantic. Beasley, who did not appear in the NBA last season due to a gambling investigation, is reportedly working with the government on his voluntary surrender. You know what's interesting? I wonder, did the government always plan to indict Malik Beasley, but they waited until after the NBA season? Right when he's about to try to get back into the league, and then they drop this news. Like, that would be very, very cold. Beasley and Davis, who were teammates on the Minnesota Timberwolves during the 2020-2021 NBA season, are accused of working together, allegedly manipulate Beasley's performance in 4 games during the 2023-2024 season, when Davis was out of the NBA and Beasley was with the Milwaukee Bucks. It looks like to me that Ed Davis, he was out of the league, and unfortunately Malik Beasley decided to be cannon fodder for Ed Davis. Ed Davis not in the NBA anymore. So why is he doing this? He could have, Malik Beasley could have stopped. He could have stopped. He was going to get a big contract down the road to pay those debts, right? But when you think you're the smartest one in the room and you're really the dumbest, you're going to make dumb choices. Beasley reportedly owed millions of dollars in gambling debts, which led to Davis loaning Beasley money. Now, mind you, Ed Davis is out of the league at the time. Or maybe right before this. In order to pay off that debt, Beasley and Davis reportedly decided to get involved in a betting scheme, working with 3 others to place tens of thousands on a game Beasley played against the Cleveland Cavaliers during the 2023-2024 season. Beasley, who averaged 11 points per game that season, scored just 3 points in that game. Beasley was also accused of rigging a game against the Charlotte Hornets that season, with a bettor putting money on Beasley hitting the over on his rebounds. Beasley, along with Davis, former NBA agent Paulo Zamorano, and 2 other men reportedly faced charges of sports bribery, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, honest services fraud, and conspiracy to commit money laundering, per The Athletic. The crazy thing is, there are probably people who bet on sports and things of that nature. I get, and there's a lot of dirty things that go on when it comes to sports betting. I'm not a big sports bettor. I'm really not. I don't get the appeal, but it's big with other people, and it's becoming a bigger and bigger part of sports, to the point to where it's going to be very difficult to really go after this because you really don't know who's doing it. There are video clips of Malik Beasley looking like he is intentionally throwing a game, making it very obvious. Now, Beasley, who's 29, was set for a major payday following the 2024-2025 NBA season, but his free agency was disrupted by a gambling investigation last June. Months later, Beasley's attorney claimed the guard was no longer the subject of the federal investigation. With this situation up in the air, the NBA decided to take matters into its own hands and run its own investigation looking at Beasley's actions. Due to the various allegations and investigations, Beasley went unsigned during the 2025-2026 NBA season. Prior to the allegations, Beasley was coming off one of his finest seasons as a pro after being selected 19 overall by the Denver Nuggets in the 2016 NBA draft. Beasley eventually developed into a strong off-the-bench option, earning 6 Man of the Year votes. After the 2018-2019 season, he was traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves during the 2019-2020 season and has bounced around to various teams since then. Beasley spent the 2024-2025 NBA season with the Pistons. He played in all 81 games with the team, starting 18 of them. Beasley averaged around 16 points and 2 rebounds per contest with Detroit. He reportedly had a multi-year deal on the table from the Pistons at the time of the news of his gambling investigation broke. Again, self-sabotage. For his sake, he better hope that this thing doesn't go further. But unfortunately, it looks like it will, and it looks like his NBA career is done. It really does. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Like if you don't share. Follow me on all my social media platforms. Links are all in the description box, and I'll see y'all next one.